Hey guys, what's up? I'm Christian Taylor, and today I have a first look at the Apple Watch Series 5. Now this is the brand new Apple Watch that Apple announced at their keynote, and if you look at it right next to last year's Series 4, bet you can't tell which one is which. And that's because they're exactly the same. The only difference this year is that Apple added a new always-on display, and they also added a compass. More on that later. So the star of the show this year is that always-on display. And what does that mean? Well, if you've ever owned an Apple Watch in the past, you're probably used to doing this gesture. You know the feeling. You want to check the time, or you get tapped on your wrist that there's a notification, and your only choice is to do this to get the screen to turn on. Now I'll be honest, it's not that big of a deal, and I certainly got used to it with my Apple Watch Series 4, but the always-on display in the Apple Watch Series 5 is a breakthrough feature for me. This finally makes it feel like a real watch and less of a tech gadget. So I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, if the screen is always on, my battery life's gonna suck. This is the stupidest idea. What airhead over in the spaceship came up with this? Well, hold on. When Apple does something, they tend to do it right, and they definitely did it right this year. So Apple now has two versions of a watch face. The regular version we're used to seeing, and a dimmer version for the always-on mode that removes a lot of animations. The second tan will disappear. The white backgrounds will dim to be black, and the whole display in general dims. Apple does this because they don't chew up your battery life. All the black parts of the display are actually off, so the only pixels that are on are the ones you're seeing. And because of this, the always-on display is able to give you the same 18-hour, day-and-a-half battery life that you're used to with the Apple Watch Series 4. So what's the practical use to the always-on display? Because this is the only thing new here. Well, if you're sitting at a desk typing, you can now glance down at your watch and see what time it is without having to do this. And you can also see your other complications, such as temperature and calendar events. It's really a convenience thing. If you're sitting in a meeting, you can now glance down at your watch under the table to know the time instead of having to do that socially awkward thing where you do this in the middle of the meeting and people think that you're disinterested, or they ask you, oh, hey, do you have somewhere you need to be? Now the Apple Watch is finally like a normal watch, and you can just do this under the table, check the time discreetly, and not be worried about anybody judging you or thinking that you're impatient. Now also new to the Series 5 this year is the compass. And that's where if you're using Maps or the Compass app or any other map-oriented app, developers can now implement the compass where it can tell you which direction you're pointing. And I know what you're thinking. My Apple Watch didn't have a compass before? A lot of people thought that, and the answer is actually no. Now if you're navigating through the city and you're walking to a restaurant, in the streets. So now if you're in a city and you'd like to get walking directions to a restaurant, you can simply look at your watch and it can point you exactly in the right direction to go. On previous generations of Apple Watch, it would have to use your phone's compass to kind of get an idea of where you were. But with the new compass on Series 5, if you have the cellular version and you decide to leave your phone at home, you can get more precise directions on your Apple Watch and get better tracking if you run or go on a hike without your phone. But I'll be honest, the compass is not a reason to upgrade in my opinion, and truth be told, I don't think the always-on display is a reason to upgrade either. Now look, if you've got an Apple Watch Series 4, the only reason I'd suggest you upgrade to the Series 5 is if you are a huge Apple Watch enthusiast. If you're the type of person to drop $50 several times a year on official Apple Watch bands, you're probably the type of person who will want to upgrade from Series 4 to Series 5. And that's because this little feature of the always-on display makes a big difference if you fully utilize your Apple Watch. If you're an enthusiast, if you're constantly messing with watch faces and complications, and you really enjoy using your Apple Watch every single day. I think the Series 5 makes a great upgrade even from the Series 4. However, if you just bought your Series 4 to do workout tracking, or you don't really care that much about your Apple Watch, and it's just there to give you notification information or track your workouts, the Series 5 is probably the driest upgrade yet that Apple has ever done. But once again, we have to remember that a lot of people haven't even bought an Apple Watch yet. While this may make a boring upgrade from your Apple Watch Series 4, many people don't have an Apple Watch at all, and buying the Apple Watch Series 5 as their first Apple Watch is going to be huge. We also had the big news at the keynote that Apple lowered the price of the Series 3 to $199. So the Apple Watch is getting cheaper, it's getting more accessible. Now you can buy a brand new Apple Watch from Apple for just $200. And that means that this is going to be an exciting year for Apple Watch. Mark my words, a lot of people are going to be getting this in the holiday season as a gift, and a lot of people, I think, are finally ready to buy Series 5 as their first Apple Watch because they like the idea of the always-on display, and they like that it feels more like a traditional watch for the first time ever. The Apple Watch Series 5 is so far ahead of any other smartwatch on the market. It's honestly not even funny. So if you've been thinking of getting a smartwatch, I would even say it might be worth switching to iPhone to try the Apple Watch. It's that good. Well, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. That's gonna do it for this video. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below on whether you think it's worth the upgrade to the Series 5 or whether you're gonna be picking up the Series 5 as your first Apple Watch. Do be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you don't miss when I release new videos, as I'm going to be dropping a full review on the Series 5 in about a week. So with that said, I will catch you guys next time.